What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today I am finally going to be bringing you guys a sort of ranking video. I'm finally going to be bringing you guys my official zombies map tier list, and this is going to be only Treyarch. So this means World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and Black Ops 4. Those are the only Treyarch maps that we're going to be doing, and as you can see, it is listed from Noct to Ancient Evil. There's no Alpha Omega, Tagger Toten, or D Machine. So what I'm going to do is, after I'm done ranking these maps right here, I'm going to talk about Alpha Omega, Tagger Toten, and D Machine, and pretty much tell you where I'd place them on this list. So this list ranges from Masterpiece to Legendary, Great, Good, Mediocre, Bad, or maps that I've never played in. I think there's actually only one map that I've never played, which I think I'll actually just go ahead and get out of the way, and hopefully you guys don't get mad at me. It is Call of the Dead. That is the only map I have never played before. No, Call of the Dead is not a bad map. Yet. I don't know if it's a bad map yet. I've never played Call of the Dead before. I don't have any DLCs on Black Ops 1. Obviously, all the other Black Ops 1 maps are either just Dead Ops Arcade or Zombie Chronicles, or just stuff we've seen in the past. So, pretty much, this ranges from Noct to Ancient Evil in order of release, obviously. And, well, I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. So, first up we have is Noct Toten, and where will this go? This is the first zombies map ever, so there's not a lot of stuff on this map. I'm gonna put it in good. I don't think it deserves to go to mediocre. Obviously, it makes sense that it doesn't have a lot, considering the fact that it's the first zombies map. All you have is a mystery box and a few wall weapons and a few doors. You're in a bunker. There's not pretty much a foundation set yet. It is just a survival map, and that's all it is. And it's a good survival map. I would say it's both challenging. Actually, it's pretty challenging. It tests your ability to survive, and that's pretty much all Noct is made for. Just spin the mystery box, get guns, survive. That's all Noct is for, and it's a good map. I like Noct. Always fun to play. Next up we have is Verrückt, and I think Verrückt is kind of on the same level as Noct. A lot of people would agree with me, so I'm also going to put Verrückt in good. I think the thing about Verrückt is I think it's exactly like Noct, except a little bit bigger. So Verrückt obviously has a bigger location, but it also has perks now. You have Juggernog, Double Tap, Speakola, and I don't know I think that's it, right? And Quick Revive. Sorry, yeah, Quick Revive. The four main perks. So you have that, you have 4 perks, and you have traps. So obviously they added more things to Verrückt. It's a bigger location, so it's obviously bigger than Nocturne Toten. It is the second zombies map. It made changes, but it's still pretty much similar to Nocturne Toten, except I think Verrückt is more scarier and more harder, in my opinion. And the reason why I think Verrückt is so hard is because there is almost zero training room at all. The only training room I can think of is where Speed Cola is, and or not where Speed Cola is. I'm sorry. I don't know what the place is called. I don't know exactly what to call it. The place with the pillars. That's all I'm gonna say. The place with the pillars. So Verrückt is a hard map. It's a scarier map than Nocturne Toten, but it's still pretty identical to Noct. It's just a little bit bigger. So Verrückt is gonna go into good. Next up we have is Chinonuma, and Chinonuma is a map that I haven't played too much, but I started actually playing it a lot more recently. And it's identical to these two as well, but it made a little bit more changes, and some of the changes were actually pretty good. So I'm gonna bump it up to great. I think Chinonuma is a great map. This is a very fun and easy high round map. It introduces you have the Wonder Waffle on this map, which is an amazing Wonder Weapon. You also have the Wonder Waffle and Verrückt. I forgot to mention that. Wonder Waffle and Verrückt, Wonder Waffle and Chinonuma. Really good Wonder Weapon. You have the Flogger. You have random perks. But the thing about random perks is they don't seem to bother me so much on this map. I really don't know why. They don't bother me on this map. They bother me on every single other map that has random perks, except Chinonuma. I don't know why, but Chinonuma has random perks. Not that big of a deal. There's mud, which a lot of people seem to hate the mud. I don't mind it. Mud is fine. Good location, very big location for the overall story of the entire Ether storyline. Chinonuma is a great map. There are exploits, we all know this, especially on the World at War version of Chinonuma. There are a lot of exploits, there are flaws, But overall, I think Chinonuma is a great map. Next up we have is Dries, and Dries is definitely going to go above great, for sure. But I think I'm going to put it in legendary. Legendary is where Dries is going to go. Dries is a legendary map, and the main reason why is because of Pack-a-Punch. Pack-a-Punch is, like, pretty much the main reason why Dries is a legendary map. So, the location. The location is very iconic. There are hellhounds, just like in Chinonuma. Dries also has hellhounds. I think Dries has the Wonder Waff as well. I'm pretty sure it does. But Dries is a legendary map. Kino der Toten. Kino der Toten. It's not a masterpiece. Everyone says this is like the best of the best map. It's not, in my opinion. It's either gonna go into legendary or great. Legendary or great. This is tough. I'll put it in legendary. Legendary, not as good as Dries in my opinion, but Kino der Toten is still a legendary map. You got, what do you have on? You have another very iconic location, the theater. You have, what else do you have? You have Nova Crawlers introduced for the first time. And I actually think the Nova Crawlers are actually a problem on the map. Because, on Kino der Toten, the thing that I normally do on Kino der Toten is obviously training. But, training on Kino der Toten is also quite inconsistent because of the Nova Crawlers. They will ruin your training. Because there are so many of them that you're trying to aim at the zombies, but then aim assist will, like, I don't know, home in on the Nova Crawlers, and you'll be forced to like shoot at the ground, and you don't want to do that. It just ruins your training. The only way you can actually counter that is with the Thunder Gun. Which, speaking of the Thunder Gun, that is my favorite wonder weapon of all time, and it was introduced on this map. I love the Thunder Gun a lot. It has really helped with the training. Really helped with the training on the map, and just training in general on like every single map. Kino der Toten, what else does it have? I am kind of losing my train of thought. Kino der Toten has a really good atmosphere as well. I really think that Kino der Toten has a very good atmosphere. It is just, it's really set up very well. Just, all it is a theater of the damned. And they just set that up so nicely. That's all it is, and it's really good. Next up we have Five, and Five is a good map. Five is a good map. I really like Five. I love the characters of Five. I think that's going to be the first thing I'll talk about. The characters. JFK, Castro. I love all the characters. Love all the characters of Five. They're funny, they're awesome, they're iconic. Awesome location, the Pentagon, obviously based off of the campaign. Very, very difficult, in my opinion. Very difficult, and that's one of the, well, I shouldn't say it's one of the flaws. Obviously, it's going to be a difficult map. It's not player-friendly at all. I'll tell you that. Not player-friendly at all. The Pentagon Thief is alright. He obviously fits the map very well. He obviously fits the map very, very well. But, he's annoying. He's the Pentagon Thief. He's annoying. He steals your weapon, and the majority of the times he'll get rid of it. He'll take it, and it will be gone. I normally do not stop him, and just in my opinion, he's very annoying. The Pentagon Thief is, I'm not a fan of him. Next up we have is Ascension. Ascension is going to go into the legendary spot. I really, really love Ascension. I love the location. I love the sci-fi feel of it. I love the Thunder Gun. The Space Monkeys are a disaster. I mean, the Space Monkeys aren't a disaster, but they are incredibly annoying. Ascension is very easy. Such an easy high round, which is actually why I think the Space Monkeys fit that map so well. Not just because of atmosphere or just feel to it, but because you will have to have some sort of challenge come in eventually. And the Space Monkeys are right. They will take away your perks. If they get to one of the perk machines, they will eventually take it away, and you will lose that perk. So obviously, it's better to go after the Space Monkeys than just sit there for hours killing zombies. So you have to have some sort of challenge, am I right? But it doesn't argue with the fact that the Space Monkeys are very annoying. But overall, I really love the sci-fi feel of Ascension. I just really like Ascension. It's such a good map. Such a good map. Next up we have is ShangriLa, and I'm actually gonna put this may be as a shocker to you guys. ShangriLa is gonna go in the mediocre spot. ShangriLa is a map that I have not played a lot, but it is for a reason. I am not a huge fan of ShangriLa. I don't dislike the map, but I think it's just mediocre. I think it's decent. I think it's a decent map. I really like the Wonder Weapon. If you talked to me like 2 months ago, I'd be able to pronounce it. I'd be able to say it, but I can't remember the full name. It's like the 3179 JTB215. I just got it. 3179 JTB215. That Wonder Weapon is really good and really fun to use. The atmosphere, the location is really good. The feel is really good. Problems with ShangriLa. The traps are annoying, but obviously add to, I mean, they obviously add to the feel of the map, but they are annoying. Can't deny that. The story's really good. The Easter egg is pretty good. Problems with ShangriLa. It is very, very difficult to go high rounds. There is not much training room, or just room in general. There's not a lot of spaces. High rounds are difficult. Napalm zombies are incredibly annoying. They will one-hit you the majority of the time. Even with Jug, they do to me. They one-hit me, even with Jug on, and they will kill me. And the Shriekers are annoying. They blind you, and that just causes other problems. Not only will the Shrieker kill you, but other zombies will kill you because the Shrieker blinds you. So there are things that I hate about ShangriLa, but it's a beautiful map. ShangriLa is visually a very beautiful map. The location is awesome, and the story is really good. I really like the story. It builds up to Moon. Which, speaking of Moon, that is our next map, and I'm gonna put Moon in the I'm gonna put Moon in the great category, actually. I play Moon a lot more than you guys really think. I play Moon a lot more off camera than I do on camera, and Moon is... I can understand why people dislike the map. The anti-gravity is a very, very big complaint on the map, but honestly, it has never really been that big of a problem for me. I have never died because of anti-gravity. The only reason why I did die because of anti-gravity is because I was playing with someone else and they jumped on top of me and we hit a death barrier and it was game over. So that's the only reason why the anti-gravity actually killed me. But it hasn't been that big of an issue for me. The Easter egg is amazing. One of the best in my opinion. One of the best. Not the best, but one of the best. Has a very amazing ending, very amazing story. Has a lot of sci-fi. Love the sci-fi feel of Moon. The audio is interesting, but pretty good. It makes sense. It adds to the feel of Moon. It is mostly quiet, which it makes sense, obviously. The gameplay of it is alright. Obviously, the anti-gravity is to blame for the gameplay. The Wonder Weapon, the Wave Gun, is very, very fun to use and just really good. You can obviously make it zap guns, dual wield zap guns. It won't just be the Wave Gun where it pops the zombies. You can also make it dual wield zap guns. They are really, really good. Moon is a great map. That's my final answer. So next up we have is Transit. Right into the garbage bin. Transit is a bad map. Anyone with a brain will know that Transit is a bad map. What's bad about Transit, you say? Literally everything. There are, like, no redeeming qualities to Transit at all. I mean, the only thing I can think of that's a compromise to Transit is town. I mean, that's like the best place you can go, and there's not even a lot there. That is like the only thing I can think of that is good. What is all bad? The lava is atrocious. It's everywhere. Like, you will not go anywhere where there isn't lava. You will not go anywhere. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think the farm has that much, but I think it does have lava. You will not go anywhere without running into lava. The fog is everywhere, and it's annoying. The denizens are in the fog, and they're annoying. I mean, they're scary, but they're annoying. Like, why do they exist? The jet gun, absolutely terrible. It obviously breaks after seconds of use. After moments of use, it will break into pieces. The parts are, like, not that easy to get, or not that fun to get. They are in some very, just, terrible spots. And to top it all off, it's not even good. It's not even good. Like, you're using a bad wonder weapon that breaks after like 10 seconds of use, maybe less than that. Are you kidding me? How is that balanced? What's his name? Avogadro. He is very annoying as well. Very annoying. The Victus characters are annoying. Everything about Transit is bad. Next up we have is Diarize. Diarize will also go into the trash can. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't think Diarize, objectively, I don't think Diarize is as bad as Transit. In my opinion, my own perspective, I hate Diarize more than like any zombies map because it is so infuriating to me. I always die of fall damage. I die to the zombies, but I also just die to the fall damage a lot. I fall off the map. I died of actual fall damage, or I just fall off the map. I mean, it's very annoying. The elevators are annoying, inconsistent, and just they can crush you. They are unreliable. They can get you up and down, but they can kill you as well. By crushing you, by like I don't know, just the elevators are annoying. And to top that off, that's where your perks and Pack-a-Punch are, and they are random. They are random perks. Jumping jacks. Why? Why? Why jumping jacks, man? Why? They are Nova crawlers that hop. Nova crawlers that hop. Are you serious? Nova crawlers that hop. I like the reward though. The reward is good. I like the reward. The free perk if you can get them with 100% accuracy and just a max ammo, obviously. The Sliquifire is actually the one redeeming quality of Diarize. I actually really like the Sliquifire. When people look at it, they're just like, oh, this wonder weapon must be terrible. No, it's actually not that bad. Yes, it was like one of the best, if not the best wonder weapon pre-patch, but it's still actually a good wonder weapon after the patch, even though it does slip you around and just, or slide you around and you can slip off the map with it. It is still a pretty good, it is a pretty good one. It's a pretty good wonder weapon. And I'm probably missing other details of Diarize, but it's bad. It's a bad map in my opinion. Mob of the Dead, all the way up into Masterpiece. This is actually my third favorite zombies map. Mob of the Dead is so good. Such a good location. Such good characters. Such a good feel. Such a pretty good Easter egg. It's not that big, but a pretty good Easter egg. Such a good story. Such a good boss zombie. Brutus is a really good boss zombie. Not that hard to kill, but he definitely makes such a presence. It is a very depressing map, in my opinion. It's obviously a depressing map. That's what it's meant to be. And not only is just the Alcatraz location good, the Golden Gate Bridge location is amazing. Mob of the Dead is a perfect map. I really don't think there's much I can say about that. Everything about that map is perfect. Coming up next is Buried, which will go into the legendary spot. I don't think it has enough to be put into Masterpiece. I love Buried a lot. Buried is actually the map that really hooked me into zombies because of just how fun it was to go for high rounds on the map. It was very easy to go for high rounds on that map, but it was so much fun. So much fun. It is a very fun map. You got a lot of good elements. I love the western feel of Buried. I love just the underground feel of Buried. The witches are alright. Obviously that they're annoying, but that they're good. At least they don't come on like certain rounds. You have to, it's your choice. You go through the witch's house, you will get the witches. They don't spawn in on certain rounds. It's your choice, honestly, to go through the witch's house. And even though it's pretty much a requirement to get to Pack-a-Punch, still Buried is the witches are an option. You don't have to go to the witch's house, it's your choice. You got a lot of buildable parts, but they're not like so atrocious. You're not going to be built. I doubt you're going to be building every single buildable you can on that map. All you really need to get is the trample steam and the turbine and what's it called? The resonator thing. I don't know. The thing that blows zombies away. I don't know what it's called. I haven't even played Buried in a little while, but I think Buried's a legendary map. It's got flaws, like the bank, or just like how easy the high rounds are. There are flaws to Buried, and that's why it's not a masterpiece. But everything else about Buried is good. Everything else about Buried is good. Origins, masterpiece, done, said, bam. Location of Origins, awesome. Atmosphere, awesome. Characters, awesome. Story, awesome. Easter egg, awesome. Panzer, awesome. Everything about Origins is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way because there are people out there that dislike Origins, and the main reason why is because of the mud. Well, guess what? This is in my opinion, obviously. The mud has never been a huge issue to me. There has never been a time where I have died because of the mud. If there has been, then I don't remember that time. I probably have at some point, but I just don't remember. Maybe back on Black Ops 2 was when it really was like bad for me. I've never had issues with the mud on Origins. Never have. Next up, Shadows of Evil is also a masterpiece. I don't know, like Shadows of Evil and Origins are like the only maps that really make me speechless. They did stuff that, like, Shadows of Evil, it's such a good map. It is so good. It is so different because of all the lore, because of the story. It's obviously very different. The Wonder Weapon on the map is considered to be one of the best, if not the best, Wonder Weapon of all time. I personally don't agree that it's the best Wonder Weapon. I think the Thunder Gun tops it, but it is so good. You got the Margwas, very cool boss zombie, very easy to kill, and they also make a presence. You got Parasites and the Meatballs, which get annoying, but are pretty good. They are good boss zombies. The Easter egg is pretty good. It's short, but it's good. And Shadows of Evil is just, it's so good. Such a good map, man. Anyone with a brain knows that Shadows of Evil, that these three maps are masterpieces. And if you think otherwise, you are dead to me. Maybe if you put them in Legendary, you will slide. You'll get out of it. But if it's anything lower than Legendary, if these three maps at least are anything below Legendary, we will have a fight. I'm just saying, we will have a fight. Drak will also join that gang in the masterpiece, and if Drak is also one of the maps that is below Legendary, we will fight to the death. Drak is a perfect map. It is very similar to Origins. We all know this. Obviously, one of the main reasons being because of the staffs related to the bows. Or is it the other way around? Bows related to the staffs. There we go. You obviously have 4 elemental bows on Drak, very similar to the 4 elemental staffs on Origins. Drak has a very simple Easter egg, but it is very good. It is actually probably my favorite Easter egg of all time. And that's saying something considering how simple it is. The boss fight on the map is really good. That's probably like one of the best things about Drak. The atmosphere, the location, so good. So good. And it's not gonna be one of those maps where you're gonna have to like pull up guides like Origins all the time. It's simple, but it's complex at the same time. This is a definition of a map that is simple and complex at the same time. Shadows of Evil will also be one of those maps that I feel are like that. So next up, after Drak, we have Zetsubou no Shima, and this will actually go into the great category. If you guys talked to me like 3 months ago, maybe longer than that, I would have put Zetsubou like in the mediocre spot. But I'm going to put Zetsubou in the great category. I have played Zetsubou a lot more now. and I actually really like it a lot. The main complaint I obviously have about it is all the setup process. The setup process is... It's so much, man. And we all know this. We all know that setting up on this map takes like an hour, man. It's so long. It's like Origins. Once you get set up, you're fine. Once you get set up, you're ready to go to high rounds. Next up we have is Gorod Krovi, which will go into the legendary spot. Gorod Krovi has a hard but pretty good Easter egg. It'd probably be in my middle spot as far as like the Easter egg. It'd probably be in the middle. If I was ranking them by Easter eggs, Gorod Krovi will probably be in like the good category, and the reason why is because I think the challenges are unnecessary. Not because that some of them are hard, but because I just think that they feel like fetch quests, honestly. I don't like those stuff. Like the challenges could have really just non-existed, honestly. It really couldn't have. Next up is Revelations, and Revelations is also going to go into the great spot. I think Revelations has a lot of flaws. We all know this. But Revelations is a very fun high round map. It has a pretty decent Easter egg. Obviously, the Easter egg is obviously just, it's out of line, and it's pretty over the top, but it is, at the same time, it's easy, and it's fun to do. It's actually my least favorite ending we've gotten from Zombies, be surprised, so that'll bring it down a little bit. You got a lot of old maps remastered in this, and that was amazing. The nostalgia in this map was huge. You got old weapons coming back, old wonder weapons, old maps, just all of it was amazing. Next up, we're getting into the Black Ops 4 maps. We have Voyage of Despair. Now, Voyage of Despair seems to be a pretty hated map. I don't hate it, but I'm going to put it in mediocre spot, because the reason why Voyage of Despair, a lot of people hate the Easter egg. I don't hate the Easter egg, actually. It is pretty tedious at certain points, but I don't hate the Easter egg. I actually have quite a fun time doing the Easter egg. The boss fight is really good. The Kraken is a really awesome wonder weapon to use, and just the way it looks. Problems with Voyage of Despair. Catalyst zombies. Why? Just why? The gameplay. The gameplay is horrible on Voyage of Despair. It is terrible. It is so difficult to go for high rounds, but it is so tedious. I do not like the gameplay on Voyage of Despair. Easter egg is good, gameplay is not, and that's why Voyage of Despair goes all the way down to mediocre. You can't just have a good Easter egg, you have to have good gameplay. Coming up next is IX, and IX is going to go into the legendary slot. IX is honestly tied with Ancient Evil. It kind of goes back and forth between Ancient Evil as my favorite Black Ops 4 Zombies map, but IX is a really, really good map. The Roman Colosseum. The location of IX is something that I wouldn't think of that we would actually get to in Zombies. It is a Roman Colosseum. I would never think that we would kind of go gladiator on this on Zombies. I'm shocked that I didn't think about it, but we actually did manage to go there. Coming up next we have is Blood of the Dead, which is going to also take a trip into the mediocre slot. Blood of the Dead gets hated on way too much, honestly. I don't think it's a trash map like Voyage of Despair, but it will have the same type of story. Blood of the Dead has a pretty decent Easter egg and a really good story, but terrible gameplay, and it's honestly a shame, man. Like if Blood of the Dead had such good gameplay, man, and if they made like the proper changes on Blood of the Dead, it would have been so good. It would have been bumped up like all the way up there with IX. Next up we have is Dead of the Night. Dead of the Night's actually going to go into the good category. Dead of the Night is a good map. Atmosphere, location, really good. Wonder weapon, really good. Story, pretty good. The story is pretty good. Obviously a prequel to IX and Voyage of Despair. Pretty good. Pretty good story. Easter egg is actually pretty good, honestly. I think it's pretty easy, but at the same time it's not that easy. It's not so over the top. The boss fight is alright. The only thing that really brings down Dead of the Night by a lot is just the same thing as like IX. The overwhelming experience and the Nosferatus are extremely tedious, man, and annoying. There are way too many of them. They just get on your nerves, man. Next up we have is Ancient Evil, which will also take a trip into the legendary slot. Ancient Evil is a really great map, and again, it really goes back and forth between IX and Ancient Evil, but as of now, I do think Ancient Evil tops IX, not by a lot, like I said, but I definitely think it tops it right now. Ancient Evil has some pretty good gameplay, and Ancient Evil is like the Rise of Dragon Origins, except Ancient Evil, obviously instead of having the 4 bows or the 4 staffs, you have 4 gauntlets, and they're actually different elements as well. You have light, you have what do you have? You have earth, you have air or wind, whatever, and you have death. So different elements, but they are actually really good gauntlets. There's no bad gauntlet, even though people say like, oh, the gauntlet of Gaia is the worst one. It's not even that. It's not even bad. There are no gauntlets that are bad. Obviously, like Rise of Dragon Origins, there are no staffs or bows or gauntlets that are bad. Okay, so now that's it for like the placements. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to rank Alpha Omega Tag and D Machine on here. So Alpha Omega is gonna actually, if this was on here, Alpha Omega is gonna go into the good slot right there. Next up we have is Tagter Totem, which I think will also go into the good spot as well. D Machine will go actually into the great spot. I think D Machine is a great spot, is a great map. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just like, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust all these. So pretty much what's gonna happen is the farther to the left the better. So say like for example on the bad slot, so say if Transit just stays where it is, that means it's closer to mediocre than anything. So same thing with like ShangriLa or something. If it's to the far left, then it's the closest to going up to good. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and switch it now. Okay, here is my final list right here. This is what it's going to be. My favorite map of all time is Origins, and my least is Die Rise. And of course, Call of the Dead is a map that I've never played before, but it is a map that a lot of people actually do like. But this is going to be my final list right here, and if you guys did like this list, make sure to leave a like below, and I also want to hear your guys' opinions, so comment down below what your guys' tier list would be. Obviously, this is mine. Let me know if you agree with my list. Let me know if you disagree with my list. I like the arguing as far as like zombies maps are concerned. I like arguing with other people about this. But if it's some like stupid opinion, then yeah, I'll just kind of leave it alone. But I do like arguing about all this stuff. It's I don't know why. I just do. But yeah, leave me your list in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. If you're just joining, make sure to subscribe. And with that being said, guys, I will go ahead and see you guys later.